What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Make an Impact podcast with real stories, real people, and real impact. My name's Stephen Turnbull. I'm an entrepreneur, husband, and father that's on a mission to empower individuals to share their stories so they make an impact on you. Man, am I excited for today. We have my good friend, Mr. Israel Acosta, in the house. He is a regional vice president with M&T Bank. We talked about how Israel and I met. We talk about him moving to this community and the connections and what really community means to him, as well as a great event coming up in October that you need to know all about. Without further ado, let's get into Israel Acosta. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Make an Impact podcast. My good friend Israel Acosta is here today. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Steve. Thanks for having me.
I'm pumped for this. Listen, we're going to talk about everything Israel, which we're going to finally give the people what they want. All things Israel. We'll talk about a little bit of the day-to-day, but then we got a very important event that we'll get into.
Absolutely.
How's everything going?
Going well. Keeping busy. Working on this event that we will be talking a little bit about later. But yeah, it's been so far a very good summer. A lot of cycling, a lot of traveling this year, but it's been all good.
You probably know where I'm going to go when I'm going to say this first couple words, but I got a very important story to tell about Israel.
Sure.
Okay. And he knows right where I'm going probably with this. Mike, I'll tell you the story as well because Mike loves when I bring him in. When I started working in my professional world, and every day I wake up and say, I want to look good as this guy. Okay. And I'm halfway there. I don't have the pocket square today. I don't have the pen. I'm getting there. Israel was in the Rotary Club of Utica, still is in the Rotary Club of Utica. We're both in the Rotary Club of Utica. But I joined, as soon as I joined the family business and started working, I was 21, 22. And I joined, and at that time, Israel was the youngest guy besides me that was there. we got a lot more younger members in now.
Yes,
but at that time, I'm like,
yeah.
He looks the closest to my age. Let me go talk to him.
I think you brought our average.
I brought the average way down.
Age way down. Yeah.
Way down. And so I remember we were at the hotel at the time, and I went up and we talked. And fast forward to today, you become such an incredible friend. You've been a huge part of my success of getting me where I am today, of what would you do in this situation with your experience. And I bring that all back to one day, this might've been Mike, the third or fourth week of Rotary. One day Israel comes out to me and says, hey, what are you doing Saturday? I said, oh boy, I don't know. What are you doing? I'm going golfing with a few guys. You want to go golf? Now, mind you, I didn't golf until I got into insurance because I realized if you get into insurance, you have a lot more days off if you golf. So I learned how to golf quick. Don't do it well, as we all know that have golfed with me in this room, but it's fine. Anyways, we go. I don't even know where we were. Where was it? Was it Cedar Lake, was it?
No, it's Barker Brook.
Barker Brook. Oh, perfect. So we go to Barker Brook. Mike, I am scared to death. I was at the driving range 3 days leading up to it. I barely golf. I got the Dick's Sporting Goods $199 golf package, scared to death. And Israel says, we get to the first tee, and Israel says, you want to go? And I said, no, you go ahead. Israel tees it up. I'm like, man, this guy knows what he's doing. I'm looking him up and down. He's got the fit on. I'm like, this guy knows what he's doing. Takes a nice, beautiful swing, duffs it, goes about 20 feet in front of him. I said, I am in the right place. Since then, we've been great friends.
Yes, it was a great day.
It was a great day on the golf course, and I learned exactly how to get it done.
Exactly. It was a great experience. Actually, the first time we ever golfed together was, I don't remember who was in that group as well. I think Nick Hines was also in that group.
Yep.
We had a great day. So that's what golfing is all about.
I always tell that story.
It's building relationships and and enjoying the person you're golfing with.
Talk to me about the day-to-day of Israel Acosta, and then we'll get in. There's one specific event that we're here for that we want to particularly touch, and we'll leave that to the back end. But talk to me just about who you are, what you do, and all that.
Well, I am a very fortunate person. First, I have great relationships and friends like yourself, and I get to do a job that I enjoy in the banking industry. I cover the Mohawk Valley region for M&T Bank, and I have a great group of people in my team that do great work every day. So I get to to talk with them on a daily basis and just do that job. But other than my job, I enjoy cycling. I enjoy the outdoors. I do a lot of things that keep me very busy and We talked just earlier about curling, which is another thing that I do. So yeah, it's my day starts early, as you know, right? We share the same 5 o'clock in the morning torture chamber of the gym, but it sets the day right, and then you go into work. So.
Tell me the story of Israel coming back to, and I'm questioning myself when I say this, and I want you to talk about it. What you didn't come back to the area, correct? When you moved here from Connecticut, talk to us about that and kind of how you morphed. Because I think the story is so incredible of how you moved here, didn't know anybody, started the job, and then worked your way up to the position that you have today with the organization. And just by working hard, putting your head down, I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned through that story.
Yeah, no, it was a great progression for me career-wise. I was working in Connecticut prior to coming and moving here full-time. I already had a place of residence here in this area. And I went from having a similar type of position at a much smaller bank, overseeing multiple branches. And I had to leave that job, and I wanted to relocate to this area where I have my small hobby farm, I called it. So when I came here, I had the opportunity to get hired by M&T Bank, who has become a great organization to work with and to work for. And I just took a regular, branch manager job in the Little Falls office, and working and learning and becoming part of the community was huge, because I think those were the stepping stones, right? Let me do my job to the best of my ability. Let me get connected with the community. Let me get involved with the community, and then in about 5 years period, I was able to, in less than 5 years, I was able to get the regional position when the opportunity opened up, and it's been a great company to work for, and I enjoy what I do. It's been great so far.
Now, I'm going to tee you up on this one because I know the way that you're wired. Was when coming in and getting that first opportunity with M&T, what was the objective through that first opportunity? Did you know this is a great company, I work my way through, and how do you process that in your mind when thinking about, anybody out there that's maybe in an entry-level position or starting an entry-level position and having bigger ambitions and goals? What was moving from out of the area, taking that position, you were in a different position at a different financial institution and kind of going back down to that branch manager style and working your way through to where you are now as a regional VP. How was that transition for you?
Yeah, it's understanding your job. First of all, I was very confident in my ability to do the job that I was hired for. So that's number one. I was confident about it. So I know I can do this job very well. But I cannot just stop by just doing this job very well. I have to show that I can do it better than just very well, right? And I, building on the success that I've had in my career and implement some of the things that I have been successful with, continue to do those things, which meant, go above and beyond, right? Do the extra thing, right? For example, getting involved in community is huge. And it brings you the connectivity you need with what's happening in your area that will make you more successful, especially when you're looking to work in a service industry in that area. So those were things that, you have to put your head down. You don't look at the current position you are in. You always look at that as a stepping stone. This is where I'm at right now, and this is where I'm looking to be tomorrow and the next day, and eventually things do work out.
Talk to me about leadership.
It's a great word. It's something that we have to learn to be on a daily basis. I mean, I enjoy the topic of leadership because at its very core is very humbling. You learn and you become better as an individual, and then you're able to lead others. But in that process of improving as an individual, you're going to learn things about yourself that you need to get rid of. And some of those things are not the best things. So that's what makes it humbling. But when you do learn, now you can walk someone else through the same process, and that is how leadership works in my view, and that's how you get to influence others.
So you just teed up the next point there. You just said walk someone through the same process, and the reason I wanted to ask you that is just from our years of becoming close friends and our conversations of, now in the position that you are in, you are leading leaders. And I sit here and think about it in my organization, there's 3 of us. I am the leader, and I study and try to do the best I can to lead the 2 people that are in our organization, and also in their respective roles. I was having a conversation with one of our service people, and I said, I want you to view this role as you're the CEO of your desk. And like these are the things that you're working on. You're the CEO of your desk, and this is how you want to view it versus like this is just my role. I think the uniqueness to the scale that you're at is the difference of leading a group of people versus leading a group of people that needs to be good leaders for another group of people, right? And there's the scale. When you took on this new position that you're in now, what were the differences from maybe the first step to the second step that you kind of learned along the way?
Well, it's learning the team that you now need to become their best cheerleader. You need to become the best support system. Right, you have to become the resource person to them, and learning how you can do that. Right, that is one of the biggest aspects of leadership, I believe. That is no longer the idea of, if you look back and many years ago, it was do as I say, and that makes me a leader. Right, and my title or position is what determines the hierarchy, and now you are following me because of my title and position. And although that is at first what most people are going to follow you for because of your title and position, but to be more effective, they need to have more reasons than just your title and position. And in order to do that, you need to grow as an individual, and you have to challenge yourself every day. Where are the areas that I must improve as a person, right, that will be able to help me be a better leader for those who are looking onto me to be a leader? And then, people start to gravitating not to your title, but to how you do things, what you represent versus the title you hold or the position you hold. And a lot of it is building trust within your team and finding the opportunities where you can help people get from one place where they're at to the next place where they're at, and do that consistently.
Okay, so I'm one of your managers, and we talk about this, right? And I come back to you and just say, challenge myself to be a better leader. I've never really thought about that. What do you tell me to help me challenge myself as a leader?
I will tell you what I believe is the most important thing to do: self-reflect on what you're doing and what you do, and who is it that makes you, right? For lack of a better expression, you look at yourself in the mirror and says, what am I happy with? What am I not happy with? Right? And that doesn't have to be just appearances. It has to be just within your own core being, right? And if you identify those things and you say, well, this is something that I need to improve on, and it could be a skill, it could be as simple as the way you handle different circumstances. And I find myself every time when I probably could have done that better, right? So that consistent reflection is going to improve you as an individual, and then you become more influential and more impactful to those who you're looking to lead.
Good stuff. Before we get into the event, I want to talk about community. I can't think of a person that I say, oh, Israel, and they don't know who I'm talking about. It's especially impressive that you weren't born here, grew up here, have family that's here. Like, you moved to this community and made a name for yourself through the community. And you said in there when you were briefly talking about, the community, how that you planted yourself and it was important for the service-based business that you are doing, right? And I think it's important for all different type of businesses, but for somebody that is looking to get more involved, I'd like to pivot the question to, what do you think people do wrong in that respect when they look to get involved in the community? And maybe it's for benefiting their business, benefiting their brand. I mean, with the social world we're in, there's a big thing of the social, your personal brand, and part of why I do this podcast, so people know me as the insurance guy, but also see that I am part of Rotary, I am part of this group, I am giving back, we're doing this, we're doing that. But when you look at the aspect of what maybe people do wrong, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
It's hard to identify what people do wrong, but the way I like to think about it is you need to see what you want your community to look like. And that should be the driving force behind why you get involved. Because I know coming into this greater Utica area, there were a lot of things happening when I came into the area. We didn't still have Wolf Speed over there. They were still building the plant. The Nano Center was happening. And there was a lot of different opinions, right? You then move into what happened with the hospital, a lot of different opinions. But when you are looking to see what you want to see is a growing community, a thriving community, right? Then you want to be involved to cause that to happen. Because it's very easy to want to see a thriving and growing community and not get involved and criticize. That's what you don't want to do, right? Because that doesn't help anything. You can point out what's not working. You can point out what can be done better, but you can get involved and make those things that are not working work better and cause improvement. So that would be the one thing I would look for. If you get involved in the community, it's good to understand what needs to improve or what you want to see better, but it's because you're willing to be part of the change that is required.
I'm sitting here thinking a lot of something you just said of what do you want your community to look like? That, I mean, the brain of Stephen Turnbull's going pretty deep right now. Because that you think about friendships, business relationships, family, insert any group of people here, you're in charge of creating that community and dictating that community, and I think there's a lot there when you look at what type of banker are you trying to be? What type of insurance person do you want to be versus what type of community do you want to build around you to help you win? And I immediately think of our gym group. We've been a little laxy-daisy recently, but we usually
a lot of life changes, right?
Yeah, someone had to have a baby, and but we were very good at meeting Fridays after the gym, and we would talk about just life. Hey, Israel, what's going on with you? How can we help? It wasn't like, let me learn about all the great banking solutions. And it was just like, what's going on in life? How can we help? How can we share? How can we better? How can we be better together? And when I look back at that experience, and especially being the youngest person in the room, again, yeah. I'm getting to the point where I'm not, but that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
But I look back at that and it was like, man, these are the type of people I want to surround myself with. And then you take that step further of keep moving that thought down of these are the type of team members I want to have on my team. And these are the type of people I want to be around for community service. And these are the type of people I want to build a networking group with. And it's like, it just goes back to like, you're in charge of your destiny with those, with all those comments. And like, you look at somebody who came into the area, had that job, worked your way through that company, are now the regional VP. And like that, if you look back at it, was the theme of like, you surround yourself with the right people. Yes. And we're intentional with doing so.
Yeah, I think you hit on a great word is intentional. I think those are one of the things that I have learned and continue to learn on how to use my time with intent. I'm not just getting up in the morning early because I want to say I got up early in the morning. Right? I'm getting up in the morning early because there's a benefit in how I'm going to use my time early in the morning. So I think and when it comes to what you do, not just as a job that you may have or a role that you have in a company, but when you do as an individual, the more intentional you become with your time, you'll see a lot of great results.
So good. We're going to change topics or I got like 4 things in my mind of like, I'm going to pivot this way, but then we'll be here all night. Big event coming up.
Big event, yes.
Big event coming up. Let's dive into this. I'm going to let you take the wheel. There's certain things I want to hit here, but tell us what's coming up in October.
So Riders Wear Pink. Probably one of the best cycling events that you are going to be able to participate in, whether you're a cyclist or just someone that wants to come to our post-ride event and have a great time. I think that what we have built, and this is our 4th event.
Is it 4 years already?
4 years, yeah, 4 years of doing this event. And it has grown to a very good event. Particularly because of the people we have involved in this group in our community.
Sounds like the community you surround yourself with.
It's a great group of people. I can go through the name of them, all the people working in our committee, but the renaissance of this, not the renaissance, but the start of this was Eddie Barone, who was an ambassador for the Men Wear Pink campaign with the American Cancer Association, and I became an ambassador. And I remember saying, in I think it was 2020, I said I'm going to do a cycling event for.
I remember
for a
it was
fundraiser.
yesterday. That's why I can't believe it's been 4 years.
So here we are, 4 years later. Eddie Barone with First Source Federal Credit Union, who is our presenting sponsor, we joined efforts and we started working and creating this event. So just to give you a little bit of the success of the event and what we want to continue to see, last year's event for the Cancer Society was the 26th largest event in the nation.
Come on.
Yes, when it comes to fundraising, to the funds that it raised.
Wow.
It was our third year last year. So, and again, that is because of a great community
and just to stop you there,
that we have.
Those are not small markets that these are happening in.
No.
These are big cities. It's big cities that the American Cancer Society has these campaigns going in, because I was an ambassador a few years ago. I got to do it again because it was great. But I remember you get a website and you get a link so that people can donate. And I remember you can go on and see the people in New York City campaign, Chicago campaign, Miami campaign. That's impressive. 26 is real good. Good for you.
Yeah, we had a great year last year, and we're looking to do the same thing this year. So, is Riders Wear Pink, and what is Riders Wear Pink? First of all, is an event to create awareness and fundraise for the American Cancer Society, specifically for those who suffer with breast cancer. Right, breast cancer does still impact a lot of people,
Sure.
and since I have done this event, I keep hearing people who are suffering through it or their loved one is suffering through it. Some of the challenges that come along when you are diagnosed with it and how the family now has to deal with these types of that, disease that is impacting your family member, the treatments and how much more is yet to be done when it comes to dealing with this disease. And so this is the purpose of the event, is to not only bring awareness, raise funds, get more people involved. And the cycling event is just kind of the collateral, right?
Sure.
That happens. We just want to create the awareness and fundraise. We have 3 options that you can participate this year. You can do a 50-mile ride. If you believe you can ride your bike at least 14 miles per hour for 50 miles, you're in. And most people can. Believe me, most people can. I just did it.
Don't look at me like that.
I just did it last weekend, and we had a great time. And because when you do it in a group, you'll be surprised how much faster you can go.
Mm-hmm.
You had the opopportunity to trail us the first year.
We'll have to talk about that.
Wasn't that a fun experience?
We'll talk about that in a minute.
So then you have if you don't want to do 50 miles, we have a 20-mile route. It's a shorter route, and it's also a very scenic route that you will be able to do. And then this year, we'll bring in a more family event. It's called a Pink Mile, and it's a free event. You don't have to pay to register. You just got to register and bring your family, and you're going to walk or ride a bicycle that you want to ride with your kids, or have your kids ride this 1 mile that is in shape of a P. If you look at Seymour Lane, that 1 mile that goes around in the back and comes back towards the Seven Hamlets location.
Yeah.
So we call that the Pink Mile, and that's a free event. The purpose of having that event is just to bring more families to participate in the event, make it more accessible. If you just don't want to ride a bike, but you want your kids to ride the bike, bring them. They can ride the bike in that mile. But again, we bring more people to be part of the event. They can fundraise, they can participate, they can bring their family and friends to the event, and it should be a great day.
And so this is the first year for the Pink Mile?
Yes.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Maybe Michaela can bring me, and I'll ride my bike.
there you
she
go.
Can,
Exactly.
she can walk next
you
to
can
me.
ride the bike there, and the location is in Seven Hamlets Brewing in Westmoreland, right on 233. You see Seven Hamlets. It's right there. They have been a great partner to us in helping us make sure this event goes well. So great compliments to those guys there. So we start there. Every ride starts there and finishes there. And then after the ride is over, around maybe 12:30, we have a great event with live music. Obviously, there's food there. They got great brews if you enjoy beer. So that's what the event
You
is
have
for.
basket items too and stuff
We
like
got
that?
tons of raffle items for you to buy raffle tickets for 50/50.
So
Everything.
people can come just to the after party event, we'll call it, the ride, both, the Pink Mile. I love that there's many opportunities to get involved.
Absolutely.
All right, let's hit it real quick. So do you have the police escorting you yet?
Oh yes, we have not police escort, but we do have police support.
Police support.
Yes.
So what he's referring to is the first year we did not have police support.
No, we did not.
We had Stephen Turnbull and Nathan Durant support. And Israel said, no, it's real simple. This is the 50-mile loop. So we just need you to bring your trucks. And then when we get to this crossroad, just sit in front of the road and tell people to stop and let us go, and we'll be fine. Durant and I said, okay, that sounds fine. It's charity. They'll be fine. No problem. It was a little chaotic. We made it happen.
Yes.
Nobody got injured.
Yes.
Nobody got lost. We were fine. Everybody was good. But now we have police support. That's how far we've come. 4 years
now
later.
we have police support. Yes, we do. The first year was very interesting. It's amazing that we got it done that year, but we learned a lot, right?
That's right.
Every year we get to get bigger and improve on it.
So how much money have you raised from this event so far, if you combine
If I combine all the years, we probably be approaching, let's see, the last 3 years, about close to $70,000.
Wow.
A little more over $70,000 in funds
That's
raised
incredible.
in the last 3 years.
That's incredible.
Last year was the biggest one. I think last year we did gross amount of funds raised was $44,000.
Wow.
Last year.
And just last year was 44.
Last year was the
26. So
biggest.
now we got to get sub 20.
Yeah,
Now we got to get top 20.
Yeah, now we have to. We're pushing this year to get 50,000, and one way we believe we can get there is more people to go to Riders Wear Pink. If you Google Riders Wear Pink, our ride will come up first. You go there, you can donate. What I would suggest is become a participant and then fundraise for the event, right? The guys that we do this, and everything that we collect goes right into all the net proceeds go right into the American Cancer Society. And it's a great cause. And this year we have this enticing process for anybody who can raise 500 or more. You become part of the 1% group.
So I'm just going to clarify this. So riders can register and then they can raise money for like themselves as a team or whatever themselves for the event. Okay. And so what did you say if you can get over 500, it was what? If
you raise over 500 as a participant,
Yep.
whether you're cycling or just even volunteering, you can still do the fundraiser.
Yep.
You're going to be able to have the pick of several things to choose from. For example, if you're a cyclist, we're going to have some tune-ups that you can pick for free to get your bike all tuned up. You have, we just got this one from Seven Hamlets. Be a brewmaster for a day, name your own beer. Make it, brew it.
How much is that? Get rid of the choice to pick. How much is that?
That is going to be a great experience.
The T5 brew, I can see it now.
It's the person who raises the most has a first pick.
You thought about this, didn't you?
This is. I wish I thought about it, but I have a great committee that has put a lot of time and effort into this. So we have different experiences like that we are looking to put out there for those who raise 500 or more, have the opportunity to pick.
You haven't asked me, but if somebody wants to be an insurance agent for a day, we can raffle that off.
There we go.
I know a guy.
There we go. Yeah. We're going to put that as an experience.
Yeah, you might want to top people. Let them pick it.
Yes.
Let them pick it.
Absolutely.
All right, Israel, wrap up with where, when, all of that, where to find you. I know we touched on it, but let's just give the listeners one last time to write this stuff down.
So the date, October 5th, 2025, is a Sunday. It happens to be the same weekend of Brewfest for Seven Hamlets. So October 5th is a date.
Perfect.
Where is going to be at Seven Hamlets Brewing. That is right on Seymour Lane, off of 233 in Westmore Lane.
Can't miss it.
Right. The first ride, which is a 50-mile ride, is going to go at 9 o'clock in the morning, and the rest of the rides will be thereafter. The post-ride event will be right after, around 12:30 at Seven Hamlets, once all the cyclists come back, and we're going to have a great time there. Where you can find information for the event, Riders Wear Pink, Google it, we come up. We have a Facebook group, it's called Riders Wear Pink. We have Riders Wear Pink -2025. So you can find information about that in any one of those. The other thing that you can do, if you feel that you want to ride but you're not sure about your capabilities, we hold Wednesday night rides to help people prepare for this. Every Wednesday out of Seven Hamlets at 6 p.m. Today, we're not going to do it because it's raining. And we also have, in conjunction with Trek New Hartford, who's another sponsor of the ride, we also have a 6 p.m. ride on Mondays. So if you want to try riding your bike and you want to see how does it feel to ride at least 20 miles, come to either one of those days. You're going to be able to bring your bike, a great community of cyclists. You'll be able to do whether there are different routes that you can do as short as 10 miles, as long as 28 miles, depending on what you want to do, right? And it's a great group of people, and you'll be able to get comfortable riding your bike on the road.
Sponsors.
We have great sponsors. We start with our presenting sponsor being First Source. They have been a great supporter. This is their second year they support us. So First Source, our presenting sponsor. We have this year the pink chair sponsor, which is amazing. Last year we took a picture right in front of that pink chair.
Oh, yeah.
If you've seen it on our website, it's on our website and our Facebook page. Birch Wealth Management is our sponsor for the pink chair. They've been, again, a great supporter. Then we have the Pink Mile sponsors. I want to stop at those because they're sponsoring that Pink Mile where we want families to participate. We have Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas. We have Fred from Blue Truck, wine and liquor there. We have Caruso Orthodontics. We have Blooming Pediatric. And those are, some of those people that are sponsoring us. And then we have our Pink Ribbon sponsors, which are True Line, Clinton Tractor, T5 Insurance, LAFA, Lunar Eclipse, Life Power Chiropractic, Berkshire Bank, and the name goes on, Knuckleheads Brew House, Daylight Donuts. They did a special last week. If you went to Daylight Donuts,
I sure did.
Yeah, $2 iced coffee and donut. And there's going to be another day coming for that one. So be on the lookout for the next day. You can go to Daylight Donuts and do that. So yeah, great company of people that are, helping us, meet our goals and becoming involved.
So incredible. All right, everybody, write all that down. You got to be there. I think we have an annual family weekend that we go up north that has fallen every year except for the first two, I think. Because I think I was at the first two and then we're always out of town. But the first two that we went to were incredible. I can't imagine what it's like with what you've done. And Israel, you have to just be so proud of yourself. I mean, for you to say, it sat me back a little bit for you to say 4 years. Because I can literally remember sitting in the whatever the table room is at the gym after the workout, and you're like, hey, I got this idea. I'm going to start a bike ride and could you guys do this and drive the truck in front? Oh yeah, no problem. We can take care of that. But now 4 years, the impact, 1 year raising $44,000, 26th in the country. You and your team have to be so incredibly proud of yourself because you read all that off and how it's all set up. It's like you're talking about an event that's been around for 20, 30 years. The fact that you put this together in 4 short years and it's this successful is so incredible.
I would say is a great event. And I if I didn't have the committee of people involved, we wouldn't be here. We do have one of the best engaged committee of people that are making everything happen. Like, one of our other sponsors I forgot to mention, Sentinel Media, Morgan Melnicki, she's fantastic. We have some volunteers that they just providing their time. So it's a great group of people that are working behind this. And we all proud of it. We work on this now almost year round. We start in February with our first meetings, and it runs all the way through October. By the time we're done, it's November. We take a few months off and we start planning again.
Back up.
So it has been a great event. And I remember for the first time, can you give me a case of water? Can you give me some of this? Can you give me some of that? That's how we started the first event.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy with where we are right now. And one of the things that I mean this, I'm really, really proud of the community and how the community comes out and support.
Yeah.
That's really where it really, really motivates you to do it again, because it is a lot of work. But when you see how it brings people together for a great cause and you fundraise for a great cause, this is something that motivates you to want to do it again.
Well, you know what you and your committee are doing is making an impact. That's what you're doing. That's why we had you here today. I appreciate you being here. I also need to stop and just say thank you for being the person that you are. You have made an incredible impact in my life. I think of, I guess we've both gotten too busy for our britches these days, because we used to go to Pumpernickel's lunches probably weekly when you were just the branch manager down there, and I was Israel. You want to meet for lunch, and we had just the conversations that we've had probably of almost 8 years now in friendship, and what the friendships led to, and the impact you made on my life, and the guidance you gave in me, and just you are a little bit older, so I can say this, Israel. Okay, you've been that big brother figure, and it's meant a lot to me in my life, and I just really appreciate everything you've done. And
thanks for that great compliment.
Appreciate you
just a little bit older,
just a little bit.
I do appreciate how you have also impacted my life. I think you're such a determined fellow.
That's what my wife says too.
To make it happen, see?
Yeah.
To make it happen. And you make it happen, especially how you impacting so many people with this type of podcast and what you do through your agency and other things you do in the community.
Appreciate that. Everybody, rewind a little bit before we got sappy there, and find all the dates, find all the times. That is the event you want to go to. Reach out. Real Men Wear Pink. Real Men Wear Pink. Riders Wear Pink is where you can find them. Facebook, Google, all of that stuff. That's where you want to check them out. Go to the event. I'm telling you, it's absolutely incredible. Until next time, go out there, lead with purpose, and make an impact in someone's life today, even if that's your own. My name's Stephen Turnbull. We'll see you next week. Take care.